What's up, Gamers Federation Play here, and welcome to Honest Opinions. This is a show where we take a look at a game and I tell you about my honest opinions about it by taking a look at some early gameplay and seeing how it actually feels once we get to play. So that's enough introductions, let's get right to it. So today we are talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, which is the latest entry by Rockstar Games and the second thing which I played ever since getting GTA 5 on PC. When I first opened up the game, I was presented with the really big loading bar which didn't take that long to load, but it was the first thing which I did see even before getting a splash screen of the game. Maybe it was due to the first time when I started the game, maybe it won't happen if we kept on playing it each and every day. Before the game actually started, I was just wondering if it's actually even going to run on my system, which is just moderate and not that good, but still gets the job done. But the most troubling part was that I had Windows 7 on my system, and I was just curious if it was actually going to work or not. But when I did open up the game, it worked without giving me any errors, and that was probably the best moment of the whole day, which I spent trying to install this game, which took me around 7 hours to install this game on my system. Next, when the game started and for the first time I saw the Rockstar logo on the screen of my PC, it felt surreal. Seriously, like the last time I got to see a Rockstar logo on my PC was back in the day when GTA 5 got newly released for PC. But this time around, I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, the game which never came out on PC. While I am still holding out for Red Dead Redemption to come out to PC, I am still happy that we did get Red Dead Redemption 2. So first things first, I have to admit that I have never ever played a Red Dead Redemption game before this one, and this was like a dream come true for me because I knew how awesome this game was, but unfortunately none of the entries before this one which I was playing never came to PC, and this was the first one which came to PC and I am lucky enough to get to experience it. As soon as the game started, I was presented with the menu screen and it was pretty easy to move around in it and it was nothing too complicated. And upon entering the graphic settings, which was the first thing I did, it reminded me very much of the GTA 5 graphics settings screen. It looks pretty similar. But if I am being honest, there are a plethora of options for Red Dead Redemption 2 graphic settings, like I don't even know what half of those settings do, but they are there, and that's a good thing. The sound design for this game is right on point, like just listening to it made you feel as if you were in some old timey town in the Wild West. Listening to the sound in the background during the loading screens again felt really similar to what Rockstar did with GTA 5 load screens. They weren't moving as they did in GTA 5, but in the end, both the games have that abstract themed music in the background, which isn't annoying to hear and always feels good no matter how many times you may hear it. It serves the purpose of elevator music and helps to pass the time while you're looking at the loading screens, waiting for the game to load. The revolver chamber rotating animation at the lower right side corner when the game is loading something minor, even that looks amazing and sharp and fluid somehow. The overall presentation of the game and the way it starts almost makes you feel like as if you're watching a movie. Like the graphics are way too good. Like back in the day when GTA 5 released, it felt like that was the best thing. But now watching this, it feels like Rockstar outdid themselves with Red Dead Redemption 2. The weather effect and the sound design, along with the character animations and everything else, was so on point that even me, who lives in Karachi, which almost always has really warm weather, even I started to feel cold by just experiencing the game and its starting moments where the character has to make his way through a blizzard at night time. The character design looks so amazing. Each and every character is wearing so many layers that all of them look so puffed up with their jackets and scarves and hats, and all of them look and sound pretty good. The voice acting is outstanding. Most of them feel like they were having chewing tobacco in their mouths the whole time they were talking.
Hello, Arthur.
Abigail?
Arthur, how you doing?
Just fine, Abigail.
Being honest, the game did lag here and there during cutscenes, but none of it hurt because I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and nothing else mattered. The shadows and the lighting also looked nice whenever there were any scenes when the characters were holding lanterns. And sometimes in the close up shots, even the characters' eyes reflected the lights, and that just added to the beauty of the game. The textures looked clean as well as the snow, which looked soft and fluffy whenever the characters walked through them, and the noise it made was just too good. The hats which the cowboys were wearing in that game looked like actual leather, and the fabric of their coats looks realistic as well. And from time to time, when the inner fur was visible on those coats, that looked as furry as it can get in a video game. And if you're talking about the characters and their beards, then those are some really realistic beards I have ever seen, and again, making the characters look mean and rugged overall. The snow texture was one of the best things, just to get to see and hear the way it reacted to the movement of the characters on it. The texture of the snow was so detailed that even after you have moved from one place to another and then came back to that place in your near vicinity, you can still see the snow has been pressed down from where the characters have been moving. The attention to detail in this game is so amazing that whenever it may be snowing, the snow can be easily seen on whichever surface it may fall on, be it any buildings, any character, even the clothes and the hats which the character is wearing had snow on them. And when you are riding a horse during the snowfall, then the snow can easily be seen on the backs of horses, and whenever it may be a really windy situation, then that hair on the tails of the horses, even that starts to wave in the air. And if you look closely at the characters, then their clothes and even their hair starts to flow in the strong winds. During the start of the game, the weather effects were so amazing and realistic that it was tough to even see what was in front of the characters while moving forward. It actually made me feel as if I was stuck in a blizzard with them.
Is that someone coming towards us?
The health in the game is a bit tough to keep track of as it doesn't give you the usual big red health bar, but instead gives you a really small white heart icon on the left lower side of the screen right above the minimap, which is shown but it is really hard to pay attention to if you've got any health left or not when in action. That explains why the first time I got attacked by wolves in the game, it led to me dying like 4 to 5 times, and I had to restart from my checkpoint because it was part of a mission. Now, let me tell you, these animals are unforgiving. Do not take them lightly. Heed my words. Still, this game allows for a way of healing the character whenever you get low on health, and that is to find something to eat in your satchel. But for that, you are going to have to find stuff to put in your satchel in the first place, and that's where the exploration part of the game comes into play, where you can find useful items throughout the world and put them in your satchel to be used afterwards. The character animations are so good that the characters even respond to the way the weather is. Like during the starting sequence when there is a blizzard going on, then the characters actually find it hard to move in the high snow which surrounds them, and they are often seen trying to block the wind with their arms by putting their hands in front of their faces. Even the horses' animations change when they are going uphill. Their animations look like as if the horse is actually putting in the effort, is straightening out its neck and putting in more force into its step to balance its weight in order to move upwards a hill or any sort of climb. With the wonderful character animations and the way the main character moves, it almost makes you feel as if you are a real cowboy, and makes you feel pretty tough too.
Take a drink of this. Thanks. Let's keep moving now. Come on.
As it is a game from Rockstar, you know it has both shooting and hand to hand fighting in it, and each and every shot fired from our weapon sounds crisp, and with each and every punch which Arthur lands on any enemies sounds super fun to hear. Unlike GTA games in which you've got tons of cars to use, over here your main mode of transport is a horse, and with your trusty steed you can ride wherever you want, be it through lakes, through the snow, or on the mountains. Along with the serious and gritty tone of the game, it has a bit of humor attached to it as well.
Thank you, Miss Grimshaw.
Mr. Bell, you're with the fellas over there.
What? How come Arthur gets a room and I get a bunk bed next to Bill Williamson and a bunch of darkies?
Get yourself to bed.
You know, we're gonna need to come up with a better story for that scar. So, freezing, bleeding, starving, damn near getting eaten to death ain't good enough for you.
There are various different camera angles which you can switch in between whenever playing the game. The most fun ones which I found was the first person camera angle while riding a horse, and it gives the game a whole new perspective and made it look even more dangerous than it already was. Along with the game also comes the cinematic camera mode, which we all can remember that we used to use while drifting on the beach in GTA Vice City. At least that's what I used to do. This provides a good cinematic wide-angle view of the whole situation, and usually in order to support this view, your horse will start to follow the mission track on its own, so you don't have to worry about bumping into anything and you can enjoy the scenery as much as you want to. This game does not hold back on the gore, which sets the hardened and tough, wild and realistic cowboy theme which it has. The weapon selection in this game is also pretty similar to GTA 5, which was convenient and smooth if you're talking about gameplay in which you have to switch guns at a moment's notice while in a tough spot. And just in case if you were wondering, yes, the horses do poop in the game, apart from other realistic details which I would try to avoid in this video. Each and every bit of conversations which the NPCs have always feels related to the story, and you never feel as if you are unaware of what is going on, and it makes you feel immersed and care about what is going on in the game with the characters.
You sound doubtful.
Not doubtful, just worried.
What do you think, Arthur?
Well, I wasn't on that boat, so hard to say, but I trust your judgment, Dutch. Always have.
Thank you, son. We have been shot at before, Hosea. I don't feel that this is honestly anything new.
I hope not.
We had a bit of bad luck, but then the storm covered our tracks, so now we wait a bit, and we go back to Blackwater, and we get our money, or we get some more money, and we keep heading west.
But we're heading east.
For now. For now. We got this. We're safe. Stay strong, Hosea. What about you, Arthur? You doubting me too?
Never.
Good. 'Cause you know me, son. I'm just getting started. Once we get some money, well, they better send some good men after us, 'cause they ain't never gonna find us. But we need money.
course, Dutch.
Thank you, son, for your strength. It means a lot to me.
So if we are going to give it a score, then I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. And this is it for this review, guys. Please feel free to leave a comment if you think I missed out on anything, or if you'd like to give a suggestion on what we should cover up next. Give this video a like if you liked it, unlike it if you didn't, share it with your gamer friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.